Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in. I want to talk about the theory that I posted this morning about the Masoretic translations, the Septuagint translations, and the Aramaic translations of the Bible, that they're all separately and equally relevant according to the according perspective. I was watching apostate Christopher Enoch's video, and he brought to the spotlight the Samaritan translation of the Torah, and I never really looked at it, so I started investigating the Samaritan translations of the Torah tonight, and I wholeheartedly believe that this theory is true. So the Samaritan translations of the Torah would also be included within this theory. Now why? Samaria is mixing the good with the bad. It's lukewarm, it's hot, it's the worst sin you could do, right? Jesus will spew you out of his mouth, and as the book of Revelation says, right? The prophet Jeremiah was the weeping prophet. He was the prophet of Samaria, and Samaria always rules over Judah. So they kill you while they smile and tell you they love you and all that kind of stuff. The same kind of stuff we're seeing now. The sin of Samaria is the worst. So a lot of the Sumerian translations of the Torah, a lot of them are very similar to the Masoretic text, but there are differences. And one of the major differences that we could study and verify theologically to see if this actually makes sense is the Ten Commandments, right? That's a foundational thing to consider theologically. So at the end of the 10th commandment in the Sumerian translation, there's a whole new commandment that's not in any other translation. And it's right here on your screen, right? So we're talking about coveting your neighbor. And it says, and when it so happens that the Lord God brings you to the land of Canaan, that's the kingdom of Christ, right? Which you are coming to possess, you shall set up there for you great stones and plaster them with plaster and write on the stones all the words of this law. Okay, so the law of Moses is the lower law. It's the law for the heathen, the law for the Gentiles. But as we discuss, the sin of Samaria, right, is the worst sin to commit out of all the nations, all the deities, or whatever you want to call it, all the belief systems there are in the Bible. So it makes perfect sense that God would command them to raise up, to engrave the Ten Commandments with stone and plaster on their holy mountain, the mountain of Grizim or something like that, or it's called, as the text says. So it theologically perfectly makes sense. So I don't think this is a theory. I think this is true. And I do believe in our future Bible, we will have all four according translations. So amazing. So this is like a litmus test that passes with flying colors. So really amazing. So Exodus chapter 20, read the Ten Commandments and consider this. If you understand what the sin of Samaria is, who Samaria is in the context, and apply it theologically to this theory. I mean, it works. It's the litmus test. 10 Commandments would be a litmus test. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Really amazing. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.